I am not quite sure where that countdown is going. I and I am Coach K. Yes, right? My Instagram channel, which is producing that. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I'm learning this technology, everybody. Hey, I'm just here tonight. No video or anything. I'm here full on, full screen. It's Kisa, Coach K. I have been joining you like for the past 3 weeks, like just straight on teaching about the effects of narcissism. And you hear the bell chiming across the street from me. I'm located in the beautiful south side of Birmingham, Alabama. And right down here, we've got some beautiful, historic, gorgeous churches or whatever, which alert us at the top of every hour. So here we are today. So, again, this is Kisa. I am Coach K and just been hanging out in this space teaching around narcissism. But as I give a sort of an explanation at the beginning of each and every program, I just want to remind you that if you listen out of both sides of your ears, you'll understand that it's not just about narcissism. It's really about recovering from trauma and recovering from abuse in your personal relationships. The title of this series is called You Could Be Dating a Narcissist, Ideal Partners, because we're going behind the veil, okay? Going behind the veil to see exactly what narcissists look for in ideal partners. This is not blame shifting, it's not victim shaming. This is not replacing responsibility on the person who has been the victim of narcissistic abuse. No, no, it's just an opportunity to say, is there something in me? Do I have some characteristics which narcissists find attractive? And if so, excuse me, not that I need to change anything about myself, but at least I need to become more aware so I'll understand how to deal with it. Because one thing that I will do is I will stand here and I will tell you what the issue is. Okay. What are they looking for in you that they found so attractive? What is that? Excuse me, you all. Excuse me. But also, how do you combat that? Like, I'm always going to give you a solution and some things that you can walk away with tonight and do. And I heard a gentleman today because, in this coaching space, I'm a coach, so I have coaches that I listen to. And, he talked about the fact that if you're dealing with this, the beautiful thing about social media is that you can come on here and you can teach yourself some things. You can learn some things in the privacy of your own home if need be. You understand? That's the whole purpose of this, to allow you to learn some things, to walk you through some things in the event that you need some assistance. We've all been there. We've all dealt with something and just thought, what am I dealing with? And when you hear it or you see it, you're just thinking, I'm so glad someone at least understands, right? So keep in mind, you can set your alarm clock. I will be here this week and the rest of next week at 6 p.m. because we're going through a list of 10 characteristics of what narcissists look for, in particular, in the people that they target. Joining us tonight on this Thursday, Friday Eve, I'm Kisa, Coach K. Let me know where you're joining from. And as I always say, I'm not going to ask you for anything other than to say to you if this program or broadcast is a blessing to you, if you agree with our mission, if we're saying or doing something that is a blessing to you. That's not what I meant to show. I'm on something else right there. You can definitely work with us by contributing to our mission at Sharper Associates. That's our Cash App. And just to say, we would love your support, but of course, we don't do this asking for a single solitary fee. But I've also just learned in this space, sometimes people want to help you. Sometimes people appreciate what you do. Sometimes people want to be able to support the mission and support the work that you do. So again, there is no charge, but if you are so inclined, that's our Cash App. Another thing, I'm not going to just leave you there. If you'd like to work with me, you can contact me for a free clarity call, a complimentary clarity call. And you can see if I am the ideal coach to work with you as the life change strategist, because I coach people through major shifts in their life and through major changes in their life. All right. So as we get ready to go, like, share the broadcast. That's how you help us tonight. Anyway, let's get ready to go. You could be dating a narcissist, the ideal partner. We are on lesson number 4 in this particular series. We're going through a list of 10 traits that they actually seek out when they're looking for partners. And let me go ahead and give a couple of warnings and caveats up front. Number 1, I am targeting this toward people who are in dating relationships, because you can still, presumably, okay, there are exceptions, but in most cases, you can make the turn without seeing as much collateral damage, or I guess in terms of just not being officially hooked or yoked with someone, okay? It's relatively easy. I'm not saying it's always the most emotionally soothing thing to do, but you can always turn the ship if you're dating someone. You can always make the choice to slow down, pause, or go in another direction. That's generally going to be a little bit easier. So, I normally will say to you, I am not talking to those of you who are married. Okay, this would be for identification purposes only. Okay. I'm not telling you to divorce anyone. I'm really not even telling you to end a relationship. I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm saying if you see this and you're seeing some problems as a result, it's certainly easier to do it at the dating state. Does that make sense, everyone? So I want to issue that. And then secondarily, I've been talking about this and mentioning this as I come upon this. And it would be remiss of me. I would be remiss to not remind you and not say to you, in the event that you are in a relationship, okay, that is abusive, here's information on the crisis hotline. You could text or call in Alabama, the state of Alabama, 988. If you need a national number, there's a national crisis hotline that you can Google as well, okay? Because sometimes when you talk about emotionally abusive relationships, and particularly narcissistic relationships, sometimes those relationships take a turn toward physical abuse. We want to make sure that you're safe. We want to make sure that you are in a position where you're able to get some help. If you are in Alabama, that is the number right there, the crisis hotline. You text or call 988 and they will offer you some help. I will say, I'll draw the line there and say that if you are in something that is physically abusive, then of course we want you to get out of that. We don't want you to subject yourself to a physically abusive relationship, okay? But for those of you who are dating, we still have a shot. You understand? We still have a shot at you. You still have a shot to be able to make a change. All right. All right. So as we move on, we're looking at character traits of what people who are narcissistic in nature or have narcissistic tendencies look for in their partners. And let me go ahead and even extend this out too. And this goes on the side of the male or the female. Okay, it can cover either one, because sometimes you have women who are controlling as well. Okay, there are men who deal with controlling female partners. Okay, so you could be dating a narcissist. What's another target? What's another character target? Narcissists in particular, but expand your mind out if you're just talking about abusive relationships. They're looking for someone who is often going to be, and listen, I want you to catch this. It seems a little counterintuitive, because normally when you deal with someone who is narcissistic in nature or a controller in nature, they're going to have a very strong personality often, okay, or a controlling personality, surely. But they like someone who's strong and resilient, okay? A person who is strong and resilient is attractive to a narcissist for that very reason. And in fact, now I am not going to go here because this is someone who has a degree, a medical degree in psychology. One psychologist says that the reason that narcissists are attracted to those who are strong and resilient in nature is because they lacked strong parental figures. Okay. That's what one psychologist says. Now, there is a whole other school of thought that says the reason that they're attracted to strong and resilient partners is because they had overbearing parents. So they're targeting and they're looking for and they're comfortable in seeing that characteristic in their mate. But although they are attracted to it and are comfortable with it, eventually, because that person will begin to remind them of that parent, they will eventually despise it. And parent or authority figure may be a better way to describe that. So did you catch that? Some psychiatrists are of the school of thought that those who are narcissistic in nature are attracted to those who are strong because they had weak parental figures. But there's a whole other school of thought over here that says no, they're attracted to those who are strong because that's what they saw modeled in parental behavior. And so they seek it, they're comfortable with that. But once they have to deal with it, they resent it. Okay, because it reminds them of what they suffered in their childhood from having an overbearing parent. Very interesting. But here we go. We're about to get into this. So let me pull up this information and I'm going to show you the dynamic that happens between a narcissist and a partner who is strong and who's resilient. And on the one hand, you would say, well, that would be great for them because, listen, that would be great for them. Okay, let me pull this up. Normally, I'm pretty good at multitasking, but tonight it's not working. I think because I'm so warm, because I'm under all these lights tonight. Gee, oh gosh. So I'm back. So anyway, we're going to look at the dynamic when you talk about narcissists and being attracted to those who are strong, okay, and resilient. They can be drawn to strong people for several reasons, okay? Follow along with me on the screen here. Number one, validation and admiration. Those who are strong possess those qualities. You know it. I mean, they're very confident, they're very independent, and they're going to have a high level of achievement under their belt. For a person who is narcissistic in nature, that plays into their whole ego because keep in mind that personality type has an overindulgence in selfishness, an overindulgence in what makes them look good, what makes them feel good. So if they're able to attract a person who is strong and resilient, well, guess what? That makes them feel good about themselves because often what accompanies that person who's strong and resilient is accomplishment. Normally, they're going to have a list of accomplishments. People are going to admire them. These are going to be your leaders. These are going to be people who are very storied in their lives. Okay, they're gonna be achievers. Well, the person who is a narcissist, or we should say narcissistic in nature, because not everyone is a narcissist, but someone who's narcissistic in nature, they're going to look to that because they can live their lives by proxy. In other words, they will start thinking, wow, that person is so accomplished. And so if I'm connected to them, then people are going to also think I'm accomplished. So they get to live their lives in connection to the person who is strong and resilient. Okay. But hold on, because there's a plot twist coming. What's another dynamic that sets up? There's the dynamic of challenge and power. Narcissists can be attracted to challenges and strong women. It says a strong woman. We'll say a strong partner can represent a challenge. And there's nothing more than that they like than a challenge. And there's nothing more than they like than knocking that person off of their high horse. Okay? So they can, if you are attracted to or you're being challenged by someone, well, imagine conquering this person who's been giving you all these challenges, who's giving you a hard time. Imagine your sense of accomplishment. And this is a true story. I heard someone who is narcissistic in nature say one time that they targeted specific women because they knew that the women thought they were all of that. And so when they were able to get the attention of the woman and give the idea that they did want her, and that the young lady finally gave in and finally thought, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll date him, I guess I'll go out with him, and started having feelings for him, he then dismissed them because he really had no interest in dating them. It was the challenge of it all. And it was the power play of seeing this beautiful young lady, this highly desirable young lady, finally turn to you and you have her attention. But he admitted, I would target them, but then after that, I would dismiss them after I learned that they really did like me. Ouch. So ladies, you have to be careful because there are some and I've seen even guys say this. Don't you know that there are some gentlemen, I'm speaking specifically to my ladies now, and this may be a tough thing for me to say, but I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm still going to say it. There are some guys who don't necessarily like women per se. They may not like women, okay? So, what am I saying? Be careful out there. All right, we're going to move right on. Sorry, y'all. This is welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Miami. Okay, what's another thing? Reflective glory. Narcissists often seek relationships that enhance their own image. So, for someone who is strong and resilient, this represents an ideal partner because again, I get to see myself in this person. They're strong, they're resilient, they have a reputation in the community, they have these accomplishments. So I will get to enjoy that, and I will get to enjoy that imagery, and I'll get to also enjoy basking in their glory as well. I get glory. So again, you need to know that there are some people, men and women, who seek relationships not because they love you. They seek relationships because it enhances their own image. Okay? Being associated with a strong, successful person, it can reflect positively on them. And in fact, some are so self absorbed, they will even tell you, I did that. I created that. I mean, never mind, you've worked 18, 20 years. Never mind that you've worked 18, 20 years to create your career and your list of accomplishments before you even met them, okay? But behind your back, over in their mind, they're thinking, I created that. I'm the one who did that. These are true stories, okay? These are facts. And I know it's not a popular subject, but there are too many people in relationships in which they're wasting their time. And they know. You may be listening to me now and you know you're wasting your time. You know you're dealing with someone who's trying to control you. You know you're dealing with someone who is with you because of your image, because of your money, because of what you bring to the table. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue on in that relationship? Or are you going to make a change? If you're married, there's a whole different nuance. There's a whole set of other rules that come into play. But for those of you who are dating, and particularly dating people, and you know the person doesn't have genuine interest in you, the question that Keisha poses to you today, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Are we going to just keep on in the relationship? Are we going to just keep on in the situationship? Because as you continue to waste valuable time. You are not created to look back, and you really aren't created to look at two directions at one time. If you're going to move forward, normally you're going to move in a forward direction because you're going to be looking forward. If you're going to move backward, if I turn around to focus my attention, I can focus my attention on this person here. I can focus my attention on this person there, or I can focus my attention on this person there. But guess what? If this person's here and that person's there, I can't look at both at the same time. I've got to make a choice. So if I'm looking at this person here, I can't look at this person at the same time. I have to turn and give my focus here in this direction. Does that make sense? I have to turn and give my focus there. If you know the situationship is not good for you, if you know it's a waste of your time, the question that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? How long will you continue to carry on in that situationship? Just asking some questions today. So, what's another dynamic that's presented? And do you hear it almost sounds like a game? What's another dynamic that comes about as in terms of why a narcissist seeks out a strong woman or a strong man? Because again, challenge to their ego. They can they like the idea of winning over someone who's self-assured. I told you the example just a few minutes ago about this guy who said he loved to target women when he was younger. He loved to target women who thought they were all that, just to show them that he could win them over and that he could get them. And then he dumped them after that to bring them down to size. Ouch. I'm not so sure. The question is, has the person changed or is he still doing that? Because what that sounds to me, that sounds like an inner hatred for women. Why would you waste your time doing that? Winning, I mean, that's a game. And it's a very dangerous game, too. And sometimes people think that they can go on doing that and playing those games, but life has a way. Those things come back to us. Those things come back to us. I'm sorry. I believe in reaping what you sow. That's why I try to treat people right. I try to live right, and I try to live by the word. Okay. Some people call it karma. Okay. Some people call it getting their just desserts. I've heard that terminology too. Whatever it is, I believe that you have to be very careful about what you put out there. If you don't want someone, be man or woman enough to tell them. Emotions are a deadly thing, can be a deadly thing. What is it? A thin line between love and hate. Do you all remember that movie? I think it kind of made that Bobby Brown, Martin Lawrence, Lynn Whitfield, which Martin kind of played with this older lady, just playing to get what he wanted temporarily. And she just didn't take, I mean, him breaking up with her was like tough, because she was obsessed with him. Oh, that still could happen in 2024. So be careful. And finally, control and influence. Strong women are often independent and have their own sense of self worth. And listen at this, narcissists may be drawn to them with the intention of undermining their confidence and asserting self control. If the person is a narcissist, there's no question that they will be drawn with the intention of undermining them. You all need to be careful out in these dating streets because these emotional games, the manipulation is real. It's real. Okay. And for some people, it's a sport. This is a sport. They feel entitled. That's another attribute of a narcissist, an entitlement. They feel they're entitled, that I've got my choice, the pick of the litter. They may say, I can kind of do what I want to do. I can play if I want to. Well, Kisa doesn't believe that. I don't believe that you can just do what you want to do. When we're grown and when we understand that our decisions have consequences, we can't stand back and just say, I can just kind of do and have a little bit of fun. There's some things that you're going to have to deal with in your life, whether you like it or not. And that's me if I'm going to make the decisions to toy with someone's emotions. I think we get into dangerous territory. And another thing, as always with a narcissist, is supply. Strong women, strong partners provide the narcissist with substantial emotional supply in the form of attention, admiration, support. But we can go on and you can go on and on and on. A person who's successful and strong and independent, they're going to have financial means. They're going to have financial resources. So the narcissist may want that. They're going to have status. The narcissist may want that. They're going to have resources, houses, cars, access to other sort of luxuries. The narcissist may want that. Finances, the narcissist may want that. So I listed the dynamic for you. So as a strong and independent partner, okay, we're talking about ideal partners for narcissists. They love and are attracted to people who are strong and resilient. What is a simple thing that you can do in order to combat that? Nothing deep, nothing difficult, nothing heavy today. One of the things that you can do is just quite simply the same character attribute that you use to be successful in life, the same character attribute that you use to be successful on your job, use it in your relationship. Being assertive. This word has come up before. And I'm going to close out with a story. I was listening to a coach today. Okay. Why is it important to be assertive? Being assertive means stating what you need and being very clear and unequivocal. See, women and guys, I'm not excluding you. I'm just speaking to the women because I'm a woman. And so I understand this. We are very clear about speaking to what we want and what we need when we are in the corporate arena or when we're in the job arena. Okay. We have no problem saying what we need, getting the job done, saying no when no needs to be said, calling a spade when that needs to happen. But why, oh, why? when we get in relationships? Why, oh, why are we afraid? Why, oh, why are we hesitant? Why, oh, why do we just back up or just feel we can't really ask for what we want, or maybe even feel that we aren't entitled to ask for what we want? Why is that? And I heard this coach say this today. And, I'm not offended when I listen to people because I give people the space to kind of talk and say what they want to say. I mean, he was kind of saying some stuff that was out in left field, but what he did say is say that a lot of women write him and they're asking, why guys do certain things and why they do whatever, whatever. And he said, ladies, men know that you are exceedingly strong, based on all the different things that you have to deal with. Men inherently know that you are strong. And his question was, why does that strength go out the door when a woman gets in a relationship? Why does she allow a man? And am I out here by myself? Is there any of you who are watching with me who believe that sometimes as women we allow things to go way too far? We let things go way too far. We won't deal with things. Anyone other than me believe that is the case? Anybody other than me? We let things go way too far in relationships. We let things carry on way too long without saying anything. Why is that? Why is that? And I will just conclude by saying this. I thought he gave a great tip. Hola, hola amigo. Hola, señor Jose. Señor Jose. Uh, um, Conozco un poco español. I know a very small amount of Spanish. But, back to the story. And he said, why is it that women are so intelligent and are so gifted and so whatever, whatever, but they struggle in relationships and telling a guy no? And I'm going to tell you what else he said. He said, you know what, ladies? He said, let me give you just a simple formula for cutting out a whole bunch of bull in your life related to guys. Now you take this and you have to think on this and think how you would respond to this. But he said you can give a guy grace. He said, but I'm going to give you a formula. If you see something, call it. You don't like something that he does, not tear the guy down or anything like that, but have an honest conversation. Hey, this bothered me. I don't appreciate that, or I have a concern about this. He said, let him know. So women have come back and said to him, okay, well, if we let him know, then can we give grace, or what does giving grace look like? And this is what he said. He said, ladies, I'm sorry, I'm looking to make sure my battery strength is kind of going down. I'm making sure I'm okay so it doesn't cut off on us as I get ready to wrap up. But he said, ladies, one of the things that you need to do is, okay, after you make it plain, then guess what? You need to let him know. If it happens again, let him know and say, okay, this is going to be the last time that I address it. Because he said, not just men, he said, but men in particular, but he said people respond to consequences. So if a person keeps doing the same thing after you've addressed it 2 times, he said, that's it. There should be consequences at that point. So, Joe, I don't know if you're on here, but Joe talks a lot about this as it relates to relationships with his show, the Joe Lockett show that airs. You can look up his name, Joe Lockett, the Joe Lockett show, and he talks a lot about that. But Tony Gaskins, he was saying that today, and I just happened to be listening to a video with him on there. He teaches a lot about relationships and guys and how they respond and their thought process and everything. But assertiveness, you have to judge again. Each situation can be different. If you're talking about being married and you've got a spouse who won't honor what you do, that's a whole other ball game. That's a whole other ball game. Keisha's not saying go out and get divorced or tell him that's it, I'm gone if you don't do whatever, whatever. That's a little bit more intricate, okay? But ideally, you're looking at these things. Ideally, you're seeing some of these things while you're dating, which is why you take your time. You will see these things while you're dating because it allows you to at least understand your process for working through some challenges. Okay. You'll know the process. This is why I'm saying you could be dating a narcissist. I'm very specific about those of you who are in dating relationships because I have a shot at you. We have a shot. Okay. You can turn that ship around. You can change course. Okay. There's no condemnation. Some things are just handled by a simple conversation. And so what? Okay, so Kisa, I didn't deal with it on the second time or third time. It's been going on a long, long time. Don't be afraid to have another conversation and say, listen, I'm at the place now where I've had it. Okay. I've given you time and time again. It's a habit now. Okay. Giving you time and time again. You have not changed. I'm at the place now where I'm tired. That's within your right to say. It's within your right to deal with. I'm not telling you to go and cuss anybody out. I'm not telling you to go and be ugly to anybody, but you do have a right to address the things that concern you. Ladies, you may be a target of a person who is narcissistic in nature if you are strong and resilient. It's a character trait that they love. But you also can use that character trait in order to deal with and to confront and to address any issues that you see. You be assertive. And if you see behavior that's bull, call it. Call it. Not you don't cuss anybody. Your tonality is important, but we are grown now. We know how to have a conversation, especially if you're an intelligent woman and especially if you are a successful woman. You know how to have a conversation. That's been identified because you are a success. So you know how to have a conversation. You know how to communicate exactly what you want. So my encouragement is use the same tactic in your relationship, in the business of your relationship. I'm Kisa, Coach K. If you want to get in touch with me, I want you to, and I should just wear my glasses. I always try not to wear my glasses. I don't know why, but I need to wear my glasses. And here we go. KisaSharp.com. There we go. Life coaching. I'll see you tomorrow night with another tip on you could be dating a narcissist. Ideal partners, okay? Happy Thursday Eve, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get some other stuff done for the night. I'll see you later. Thanks for joining me tonight. And for those of you tuning in for the replay, please like and share the broadcast, okay? And let me know if you're tuning in for the replay as well, all right? Bye. Have a great evening.